Hey guys, welcome back. This is HD, and I'm here to bring you guys another set of games of StarCraft 2 Professional Gaming, my pride, my joy, my love. And once again, going to be looking at some IPL games. This is right after I just got done casting the last set, and we saw, of course, MMA taking out Stefano pretty handily in a nuclear fest. So I thought, you know, that's enough Darren versus Zerg. Let's go ahead and look at some TVP. And I wanted to pull some really good names out of the hat, look through the IPL replays, and this is a big one. This is SK's MC. And I think everybody knows MC. He is a big-time Protoss player, has won quite a few tournaments to his name. He is going to be the red Protoss at the 3 o'clock position. His opponent just to the southwest of him is going to be EG's Puma. So we have a Terran versus Protoss between two very big names, and I'm pretty excited for this one. And before the game gets kickstarted, just want to say, Terran versus Protoss, you know, the whole metagame around it, it's about expanding. It's about the Terran applying pressure and dictating the pace of the game to the Protoss, because Terran is best at the mid game. As of today, right now, that's the Terran's strength. Protoss has a significant strength towards the late game. You know, with the warp gate technology, the mothership, well, not the mothership in this matchup, but with the Colossus and all of that, and the AoE effects they have. So what Puma's going to try to do this game is, oh wow, he just lost the SCV. Well, he doesn't want to do that. He didn't want to lose an SCV there. But what Puma's going to try to do most likely is play a macro game, expand rapidly. He's gone for one barracks at the front door, and because Terran dictates the pace of the game in the early phase, Protoss kind of mimics what the Terran does. If you see a one racks expand, then you go one gate expand, and vice versa. If they go racks command center first, you can Nexus first. And it looks like we're going to have a, like I said, one racks expand. Puma probably going to go for that macro game. Really, the Terran's going to try to keep up with the Protoss on expansions. We can see MC right now moving out with the Zealot. He's actually dropping a lot of chrono boost here on this initial gateway. That's kind of interesting. And he hasn't signaled to me, at least, that he's going to go for a natural. He's dumping a lot of resources here into a quick gateway timing attack here. And, you know, he might be able to at least camp outside the Terran natural for some time. Although, oh man, if he lets the SCV inside and he didn't wall off or anything like that, so the SCV is easily going to be able to scoot on in here. So now Puma knows, okay, it's weird, no Nexus down yet. I can see the Nexus has some energy saved up, but most likely, you know, there's going to be a Zealot and Stalker at the front door. And here it is, MC going to be able to apply some pressure out here. Stalkers are very good in the early game against Marines in the hands of somebody that can micro very well. Stalkers actually have one more range than a Marine does, and wow, he even forces all of these SCVs to come off the mineral field to repair. So, you know, the Zealot and Stalker combo here, the 1-2 punch, doing a decent amount of damage, you know, disrupting mining time and all of that. But I would have to say, because Puma got the command center so quickly here, I think that slight deficit going to be quickly, actually very quickly, remustered from the Terran side. Only down by 6 or 7 harvesters right now. MC still at a point where he can apply a little bit of aggression with these Stalkers. Has 2 outside the front, and just kind of camp the position for now. Also a sentry at the natural. He's adding on a robotics facility as we speak. And this is a very typical build for Protoss versus Terran. You know, 1 gate into expansion, into 3-gate robo. That's actually very typical. And 3-gate robo is kind of the default in Protoss versus Terran. You get all the units that you could possibly hope for. You can get Immortal out, you can get an Observer to scout the enemy base, you can go into Colossus as well, and the initial Stalkers camping outside are so good against Marines when they don't have stim. You can kite forever with that additional range. Obviously, you need to have very good skill to do this. It's not something that any average Joe Schmo can do. But MC is not an average Joe Schmo. He's MC. And look at this, man. He is picking off Marines right now and punishing MC for extending way too far out. In fact, he's going to get another Marine kill, and finally, the bunker has been put up. So Puma now can finally secure the natural, because without a bunker there, those Stalkers are going to pick off your Marines all day long. Also, wow, a lot of sentries being warped out initially here. Oh, wow. Is he going to go for a timing attack here? It looks like he is. And the whole idea, the whole premise behind this is, hey, I warped out sentries in the early phase. I have a bunch of energy saved up here. And I see you only had one bunker. That's what he saw at first when he started moving out. So he's thinking here he can make an attack happen. In fact, oh, wow, what a move out by that SCV. And the whole idea behind Puma pushing out with that SCV is to check for a pylon. If there's a pylon coming up, he knows the second bunker is going to be absolutely necessary, and thankfully he got it up. And maybe even a third bunker would not be a bad idea here. And he's already brought the SCVs off the line for repair duty. But the thing here is this attack revolves around force fielding the bunker so the SCVs cannot repair. And what a bunch of force fields go down right there. The first bunker taking damage. And MC with this timing attack could look to punish this natural. Maybe even push the Terran onto one base. But no, there's too many SCVs now. And Puma will probably be able to hold the line here. What a brilliant hold as he gets a secondary bunker up, and that all came from his premonition, I have to say. Moving the SCV out, he confirms the pylon, and upon confirming that pylon now knows, hey, I'm okay as long as I get more bunkers up. And oh my god, the siege tank! What the heck is going on here? First of all, getting a siege tank is weird enough in Terran versus Protoss in this position, you know. We've seen 3-tank timing pushes and stuff like that these days, but in this position, very weird to get a tank, and then it gets force fielded because there's an observer on the high ground. MC is he's dismantling Puma right now and killing off a supply depot, blocking Puma now, cannot build any more units. Puma has to lift off, and this is a disaster for the Terran King Puma. I do not know how he's going to get back in this game. That was so weird to get a siege tank, but I think the reason why he did it is because, hey, if the Protoss is going to be chilling outside my base like this, I've got a huge ledge. I can just get one tank, and there, I can breathe all day long. I don't have to worry about the enemy attack. But unfortunately, the first tank died. He's trying to get another tank now, and the Warp Prism comes in, and a Warp Prism has a... Oh, no, he's going to perma-field the ramp. He can pick up the rest of his units and then deposit them inside the base. Wow, Puma is in so much trouble as long as the sentry goes down though. Oh my god. And MC, all he had to do was just keep the force field on the ramp, and now he might have to pull away. That attack might have been just a little bit too bold and a bit of a miss micro by MC, and all of a sudden Puma, he might actually be back in this game after taking huge globs of damage. I mean, seriously guys, he was supply blocked. He lost the barracks on the tech lab. He lost a siege tank trying to produce siege tanks in Terran versus Protoss. But then Puma just getting a way too bold there. And I don't know. I thought it was a good attack if he could have came inside the base and perma fielded the main and just warped in a whole round of units into the Terran base. I would have said for sure that's game. There's no way Puma's gonna be able to come back. It's over. But then MC bungles the sentry control and loses the sentry on the main base and could not therefore perma force field the ramp. So he kind of threw back a little bit into Puma there, giving Puma a shot, but maybe Puma's going to return the favor now with this Banshee, because I don't think it's going to do any damage at all. There's detection everywhere with the observer at the main base, and that Banshee is just going to float away. I don't think he can do much. And here comes the Warp Prism again. MC looking to apply more damage. Is he going to warp in? Oh my god, he's going to lose the Zealots! Oh wow! Puma getting a lucky break, the lucky break of a lifetime right there. And I don't know what the heck happened there. Puma just gets a free Warp Prism with 3 Zealots. I don't know why MC wasn't paying attention. 500 minerals just kind of going down the toilet, so to speak. And MC, with these little itty-bitty mistakes, I think giving Puma a legitimate shot to get back in this game. I think if he continues to make these mistakes, he's going to throw away whatever advantage he had. Now, granted, he is expanding. He's going to a third base. He's got really good tech with the Colossus out. But, you know, Puma, no slouch here. You know, taking advantage of the free gifts he's gotten. He's also did a good job scouting with that Banshee he sent in. He knows Colossus are out, and that's why he's got a starport with Reactor. He's making Vikings 2 at a time. He's got a third base coming up because he knows the third base of the Protoss is coming up. So he might be behind, but not by much. That's what I'm trying to get at here. And Puma can easily find himself back into a match where he's only behind by a little bit, because he is a very good macro Terran player. We also have another medevac just kind of chilling in the background here. Might I also add that this map, with the spawn positions we have, is fantastic for Terran drops. I mean, literally, you make a drop ship here and you send it over here, and boom, you're inside the Protoss base. So the Protoss really always has to keep an eye on his main base. He always has to keep some units back at home, and that's kind of annoying for Protoss to deal with. And Puma here can go in at any time he pleases. Well, probably just waiting for the right opportunity for now. Looks like that command center has been fully constructed over at the third base, and things kind of settling back down into a more macro game. And if we look at the supplies, it's 138 to 145. It is a very close game right now. 54 to 51 harvesters. Honestly, it could go either way. And when you get into the later stages of TVP, it all comes down to the upgrades and the tech switching. Those are the two fundamental points you have to keep track of and aware of. And right now, I can't believe it, but Puma is winning the upgrade war. He's at 1-1 already, and MC is only at 1 armor. He doesn't even have 1 weapons yet, so that's a significant disadvantage for the Protoss. MC is going to have to quickly get his upgrades on par, or, you know, when you look at a battle and you say, hey, the Protoss should win. No, not really, because upgrades play a major role. Also, the tech switching is another big point to keep your tabs on, because you know, Vikings are very good against Colossus, and likewise Ghosts are very good against Templar. Protoss kind of have the initiation when it comes to tech switching, and it's kind of the responsibility of the Terran player to make sure he keeps tabs on what units are coming out. Otherwise, if he doesn't have the right mixture, he can easily get crushed by Protoss. And I have got to say right now, Puma has the right mixture. You know, he's got Vikings because there's Colossus on the field. If there's only one thing I'm going to fault him for here is his lack of Vikings. I don't think he has enough. He's only got 6. And there's there's a lot of Colossus on the field. But having said that, there really isn't that many fodder units underneath these Colossus either. So the Colossus to fodder unit ratio, not so good for MC. Although that could quickly change with the warping in of Templars and finishing up their last 20 supply he needs here to max out. So, you know what? Upgrades in favor of Puma. Puma just needs a little more Vikings. That's kind of the bottom line here. And I don't know what happened to that medevac. I believe it tried to go in, but it just died. So that's a bit of a shame for Puma to just send in the medevac if that was the case, if that's how it died. Wasn't really able to do much damage. Here comes another Banshee here. Scouts the potential 4th base coming up for MC. It will go into the 3rd as well, but unlikely to do much damage with the 2 photon cannons in the back. Maybe just going to go for the Vespene gas, but the Stalkers have come in here, and with the Observer floating in, that is the end of the days for that Banshee. And we have Puma moving in here with most of his army. He's actually got siege tanks incorporated into the bio ball, something we don't see against Terran versus Protoss all the time. So he's got long-range artillery fire, but his 2-2 seemingly a little bit behind. I thought for sure his 2-2 would be finished by now. Remember, he had the upgrade advantage way long ago. And here comes that big battle. Vikings are in the front, but the Storm finishing up right now. Wow, the timing on that Storm upgrade could not have been better. And the Storm shreds through everything that Puma has. Puma loses a huge majority of his Marines. He's just now down to Marauders. I think Puma is going to lose this battle, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, Protoss can reinforce right away. Even though he's going to lose all of his Vikings, MC will. Look at the reinforcements arriving. Hut 2, and the Zealots will be on cleanup duty. Meanwhile, Puma comes in with the drop, so he's not out of the fight yet. And if he can take out this Nexus, maybe all is for naught. But I don't know if he will. The Zealots are warping in, and the Nexus is saved. The medevac has to fall away, and Puma losing not only the battle in the middle of this map, but also the side battle, also the harass, and Puma once again falls behind in this game to MC. Oh man, I just don't know how that happened. How did MC get his upgrades back on track like that? You know, Puma might have just slipped. He might have just forgot to continue researching 2-2, and because of that, falling majorly behind in the upgrade war, he should have kept his advantages going for him. Also, the Storm switch. Wow, that was magnificent. You guys might not have realized, but that Storm upgrade finished literally as that battle was unfolding. And unfortunately, this is the thing about Protoss versus Terran. The Terran has to stay on top of whether the Protoss is using Colossus or Storm, and when they get mixed together, that's deadly. Oh, here's a drop. Speaking of deadly things, Warp Prism up inside the The 4th command center looks like it was able to do some damage. No, the Vikings take out the War Prism on the way out. Very nice counter strike there by Puma to take out the War Prism and get the rest of these units out of the way. So a small comeback right there for Puma, but as I was saying, oh, look at this in the middle. MC War Prism was just a distraction so he could send his charge on army charging in for victory. And I don't know what Puma's going to do about this. He still has the backstab attack. The medevac coming back for a strike against his Nexus. Might be able to take out the Nexus, but even if he does, what about this army? It's just chilling inside his base right now. But Puma has to be careful. Excuse me, MC has to be careful. Doesn't want to get flanked from the back here. Might want to pull back to a better position. Meanwhile, gets a feedback off on that medevac. Brilliant feedback, leaving the Marines stranded. He can pick those off for later. And here we go. Puma falling back to the high ground, but his army is Storm! Storm! And that is it. Ripped to shreds. Electrocuted, ripped, mauled to death. And finally, I get a chance to say what I was trying to say is Terran has to stay on top with the tech switching from Protoss. And I think right there, the Storm switch in that last battle was what did Puma in. And I think he didn't even get the Nexus. Oh, wow. A shame upon shames there because he just was so close. It was just there. 81 HP now regenerating its shields, and Puma hanging on by strings now, and it has been cut off courtesy of MC. MC finishes off the game and will take the first game of this set. And what I really want to reflect on this game was the battle where the Storm just kicked in. Let's see if I can get that. Alright, so here we go, guys. This is the major attack that I was talking about. Before the fight really begins, let's just kind of dissect what's going on here on the production tabs. First of all, Puma, as I said before, I thought he should have been 2-2 by now because he was 1-1 a long time ago. He misstepped in his upgrades, and that was a mistake. And if he was going to attack, I thought it would have been better for him to wait for 2-2 to finish with at least waiting for +1 weapons for the Vikings. So that was all kind of a mistake right there. And then on the other side, we have MC about to finish Psionic Storm, the nightmare of nightmares there. And so MC about to finish up Storm. That's like the one upgrade you could pray for in this kind of situation. So that's the major stuff going on here. Also, the Colossus count way bigger than the Viking count in my opinion. So MC really looking good in this fight. I really thought things were looking pretty good for him. Now, the siege tanks were a nice little added flavor because, you know, with siege tanks, they can obviously shell away from a range. But the problem is the position from Puma wasn't that good. What the siege tank should have been at was maybe back here behind this statue of Marine. And then, you know, he should have had a concave prepared right here. So that was not what happened. And instead, he had his siege tanks positioned here because he was thinking about making a strike up to the high ground, but that's just not the place you want to be at in this situation. Now, the battle begins to unfold, and Storm is revealed. Man, if it wasn't for Storm, I still think Puma would have been able to win this fight, but the Storm alone was what allowed MC to really rip through the Marines. And look at this Storm right here. Boom, pushes the Marines away, forces them to fall back. Boom, all the tanks are dead. Boom, Storm once again. The perfect Storm's just landing on all the Marines. And while, hey, all my Colossus are dying to Vikings, you know what? It's okay because now there's only Marauders left. And whatever Colossus I have remaining along with my ground forces will be able to rip through this army. And like I said before, with the advantages and upgrades for MC and the ability for Protoss to re-macro right away, this is where MC was able to come back in this game. In fact, he was ahead, was able to kind of secure his advantages and push for a victory from there. And this drop, man, was a nice try by Puma, but he never killed off the Nexus. And as I kind of time-lapse through this, you guys will see the Nexus gets struck again as the medevac comes back in, but it was not killed. It wasn't killed. The Nexus really close, but he didn't stim. He wasn't paying attention. He could have killed the Nexus if he had just stimmed up right there. And he wasn't focus firing the Nexus down, so that was Puma's mistake. But you can't blame him, because this is what was happening on the other side of the map. Alright guys, well go ahead and stay tuned, because we're going to have Game 2 between Puma and MC coming up next. HD, signing out.